technology is developing at such a fast pace that policies or policymakers are not able to follow, or society is not able to follow. So the same thing I think is happening with food, because facts are happening so quick. COVID and the war in Ukraine, is the Murphy law. Everything that can go wrong goes wrong right now. So here it seems that things are going so quickly that policymakers are not following. And it seems that sometimes there is this fracture between what we do in our countries and what the European Union is doing. And I think the European Union has great long-term projects, but sometimes these long-term projects are clashing or conflicting with what's happening on the ground.
Let me explain the bigger picture. We have been discussing it for a few years. Some countries adopted color coding for nutritional score. So it's just like for fridges and the energy score, exactly. So there are 4 parameters that are taken into account: sugars, salt, energy value, and fatty acids, and a few other ingredients. And this is a very simplified system, a very simple algorithm, and colors ranging from green to red. It's like traffic light system. So you have dark green, green. So green is good and red is bad. Of course, everybody understands it. Green is good and acceptable, and red means run away from the shelf. It's a very unfair system. And the main opponent of this system is Italy. And as far as I remember, there were 6 or 7 other countries opposing the system. 6 or 7 other countries have introduced the system, and some member states approved of the system as their national system. It's called Nutri-Score. This is a French system, private solution actually. So we have a great challenge. The French love to regulate and they love administration, that's right. We do not have enough time to discuss the system, but the system prefers highly processed foods that can be modified easily. In Poland, there are many traditional products, many regional products. We have a list of traditional products, and they lose against highly processed food. Let me give you an example. Juice. Juice cannot be modified. This is just pressed fruit with no additives. It just includes its natural sugar coming from fruit, and that's all. And the kind of juice gets either orange or red marking from C to E. And a drink, an artificial drink, like cola, Coke, if you take sugar out and use sweeteners, then this kind of product will be labeled green. And this is something that you can find on the shelf in green. And when is the decision-making moment? When you are in front of the shelf. That's when consumers take the choices. You need to take 2 things into consideration. On the one hand, we have a great variety of foodstuffs. And if I drink wine, I don't think about the content of sugar. That's not why I drink alcohol. The same goes for vodka, for other spirits. Nobody really cares. But there are products that we use on everyday basis. And there, the content in sugar plays a great role. Because you might have a lot of provisions that will not change anything. Because at the end of the day, it doesn't really change the intake of a given product. It doesn't change the amount of something that we eat. So talking about food profiles in Europe, we have been talking about it for a long time, but nobody knows how to do it well.
The problem is that the European Union is trying, probably, and I'm here to say, no, don't go that way, there is another way, is try to solve this simply by saying, oh, I just put a little label on food products with some colors and some letters, some stars that says healthy food, unhealthy food. And this is a problem for diversity. When I landed yesterday in Poland, and when this morning I got a beautiful breakfast, I realized once more the beauty of European diversity. And food diversity, I think, is a richness of Europe. The problem is that if we incorporate some of these labeling systems, they will negatively affect food diversity. because basically most of our food in Poland, as in Italy, as in France, will be considered unhealthy food, according to what the European Union is trying to develop. It means that the fruit juice, the apple juice are going to be red or negative. So when on a shelf you have a good food or a bad food, according to the European Union, not according to us, not according to our DNA, not according to who we are, well, what would you choose? Probably the green food, the good food. Now the question is, will Polish companies be able to produce good food? In a way, if they are sufficiently big with a big portfolio of products or a product line, they will reformulate their product to be healthy. But if there are small, medium enterprises that they don't have the resources, and in a way they are representing Polish traditional food, they don't have the need to change that, and they cannot simply change that. So their food will always be red. And the risk is that they fall out of the market. That's why we're telling the European Commission, yes, we need to tackle obesity, there is an issue, but the issue is not by saying that food is bad or that food is good, but it's through education of consumers.